Whoa! It's the Illusion reporting from somewhere on Spaceship Earth. My co-pilot is over here sitting shotgun organizing things. Oh, looks like he's coming to make a cameo appearance. So we went camping this weekend. Took the family up to see the sequoias, and it was Santa Cruz. Love Santa Cruz. We didn't bump into each other. So I went to the sequoias with the family for the last couple days. It was pretty radical. The gnarly part was Owl burned his hand on the fire pit shovel. Talk about like a heavy duty like reality check. Seeing the little guy's hand. You want to show him your hand? Here, you show him your hand. Come here, show him your hand. So you know, hanging out around the fire, gonna get burned. Owl got burned. It kind of sucked. Come here, come here, come here. Come here. Sit up here, right here. And it was pretty radical. We you know, it happened, you know, of course it was dark and all we had was headlamps, and he's running around the fire. He puts his hand on the shovel. It looked so gnarly right off the bat, but he was being a cool kid. He just came and sat in our lap, fully bawling, freaking out, but, you know, let us look at his hand. It looked so much worse than it looks now. You know, that first injury with the kid. Cool guy. I wish you weren't such a liberal. What does that mean? Like, that's ironic that I would be considered a liberal. I'm in a traditional sense, absolutely. But so, you know, we did the cool thing. You know, we allowed ourselves to calm down, allowed him to calm down, made an assessment of the situation. And our assessment was basically this. We were way out in the middle of the mountains up in the Sierras, and it was late. Libertarian for sure. And we looked at it like it got all his fingertips and the palm of his hand and his thumb. And we're like, well, what are we gonna do? You know, we realized it was like a second-degree burn. But you're panicking kind of at first because your little guy's got hurt and he's freaking. And the Minigram, she was super cool actually, for as freaked as she was. She was pretty cool about the whole thing. So we decided, we're like, we're not hospital people, first of all. We don't like, I don't think he's ever been to a hospital except when he was born. And then that's 2 days after we had that bad experience. So we're like, we're not going to a hospital. We're not going to some hospital out in Fresno or Bakersfield or wherever you'd go out in the Central Valley. Yeah. And that was our trip. Hospitals are so low frequency and such a bad vibe. Like, we're the president of our own reality, right? And that theory of you are the president has to come into play when it gets tough, when it gets radical. And so we sat and we decided, you know, first of all, we're not putting our kid in a terror-stricken moment in somebody else's hands and going, solve our problem, right? Because we have the ability to solve our problem. You know that. And so we decided that we weren't going to get in the car and have him be in a baby seat freaking out for hours as we broke camp. And you know how it is, like, we're all set up out in the middle of the woods. It wasn't going to be easy to get out of the mountains anytime, and he was bummed. So we just toned everything down. We put the Minigram to sleep. We had Al, so Al came and sat with me in his hand in a wet cloth and just snuggled and was crying. And we got him into the tent. We got him all changed. Everybody situated. This was the magic move, though. right? So I would hold I had all my ice packs from the thing, which were kind of like 2 days into it. So they weren't like frozen, but they were still cool because you don't want to put ice on a burn. And I would hold, he would put his hand wrapped and the ice thing wrapped in a cloth. And he was bawling, poor little guy. And we were like, dude, we had one melatonin tablet left. One melatonin tablet. And he had his little echinacea bottle, which was almost empty. So dude, just classic like ex-druggies in the tent in the middle of the night, dude. We smashed up the melatonin into like a powder form, put it into the echinacea, shook it all up, gave him the melatonin, dude. He fell asleep, dude. And we didn't have it. All we had was what we had. We were out in the woods. Like, that's the thing when you're out back camping and stuff, dude. Well, I'll get to the homeschooling. So we woke up the next morning and he was stoked. No more tears. And he's all well. Dude, come here. Show him your hand. Let's look. Show him. Come here. Let's do this, and then you can get back to playing. So this is his little hand, and it's pretty. It's pretty burned. Show him, put him up in the camera. Put it up in the camera, Bird. You're live, dude. All right, he's busy. So that wasn't even 48 hours ago. He's already using it, dude. Al's tough cookie, dude. Al is a tough cookie, man. And he's a trooper, dude. He's laughing around. He's got his hand all bandaged up. He's kind of badass. But the point I guess I'm getting at is we stayed calm at, you know, when, like, I've never had my little guy get hurt. It was like his first real injury, and it's a burn, and it's out in the middle of the woods. And we did the whole thing. We're like, let's just allow ourselves to be sketched for a moment. Let's just sit here. Let's let everybody's heart rate drops. Let's let him get calm, and then let's make an educated decision about what we were going to do next. And so we decided to stay up in the mountains, and it all turned out well. And the little dude's stoked, and we had a great trip up into the Sierras. So this was the thing. So we went up into the, we went up to see the mountains, and the weather was so nice, I forgot that it's like technically like winter theory up in the mountains. So like everything was closed except, you know, the hiking trails, which is all we cared about. But this is my tip. My tip to you is if you're going to go see the sequoias, do it way at the ends of the season because there was nobody up there. We went and cruised around. We went and saw we went into the forest of the giants. Nobody, dude. Just us and the giant trees. It was a pretty rad experience versus when I went there with the Minigram and Owl in July randomly on a whim. It was a madhouse up there, absolute madhouse. And the weather was so nice. It was just cold enough where you're like all snuggly and you're getting all snuggled up, but then the sun would come and it would warm everything up. So it was a rad trip up to the Sierras to see the giant trees. And the thing was, this was a product of homeschooling. We left Sunday morning and we're up there Monday, Tuesday, dude, when nobody was around because homeschooling's been radical. Let me tell you. I dropped the Minigram off at Jiu-Jitsu, right? So that's why we're at a Starbucks using the Wi-Fi. We're getting ready for the bowl cut. Bowl cut 1500's coming real soon. So I dropped the Minigram off at Jiu-Jitsu. So today was like we were doing science, math, and ancient world. So, you know, we're talking about covalent bonds and ionic bonds. And the gnarly thing, I think, for me being the homeschool dad is every day is a learning experience, right? Is having to figure out like an analogy. That's the way I did it best. So like trying to explain covalent bonds versus ionic bonds was I did it about people dating versus getting married. I can't let you have the keys, dude, because you're gonna don't push the buttons, okay? And So the homeschooling thing's radical, but we get it's full court press. Like, there's always kids up in my scene. But it's cool because I've been able to leave Owl with the minigram when I wanted to go surfing last week. The homeschooling thing's really a plus. She gets to go to the barn. Like, I'll drop her off at the barn tomorrow morning. She'll ride her horses all day, but she'll do her health and her language arts at the barn tomorrow. And the homeschooling thing's pretty easy on a certain level. I mean, it's hard because the buck stops back. Okay, back update's coming next after I finish the homeschooling update. I'm a convert. I'm a firm believer that, again, it's like growing your own food. It's an act of nonviolent resistance against the system that's corrupt, man. You know, because when we're at home schooling, like, we discuss a lot of things right now. We got a lot of stuff going. And tell you the truth, man, with the drugs in the school, I breathe a sigh of relief every day that our kid's not at some public school being exposed to God knows what. And only God does know, because I look at the Terra Cruiser 5 is an integral part of the homeschooling adventure because it allows us to get out into the thing. I think I posted the video about my first, like, dealing with the warranty. That went super smooth with the people at Nissan. So the back update. Dude, I'm finally kids mean baby goats, which is a sign of evil. Yeah, interesting. How's your back? So my the children, not the kids. You're right. Okay. All right. The children, very good. I appreciate you for pointing that out. That is true. They are children. They're not kids. Interesting. You just warped my mind. The usage of the language is something that I don't think we fully comprehend how it's, so we just got to point. I don't know if you guys can see the feed of the questions, but good vibes all the way. So I was the back. So I go see Dr. Kim tomorrow. And it's the thing where he's all about the back's coming together. He's all about, like, getting different groups of muscles to fire. So I do all these exercises every other day in the evening, and it's all to get, like, my butt and lower back muscles to fire instead of my legs firing, because my legs are what's pulling on my back. And it's basically like, if you know, like, there's no fixing a bulging disc except surgery, and the surgery is super unreliable, and it's like, odds are you're gonna feel worse off than you were when you got it. So I'm rolling pretty hard with Dr. Kim. It's pretty gnarly what he does, because he goes and he does all these, like, deep stretches in my hips, because my hips have seized up. Yeah, the muscle, it's all about getting these new muscle groups to fire. And it has my, like, I've gotten a lot better. Like, my daily reality with my back versus what it was 3 months ago is night and day different. You know, I still got a little stuff like sleeping. I always wake up a little funky in the morning, but the recovery out of that morning funk's not that bad anymore. Like, I'm sitting here right now, like, everything's cool. But I got my exercises and I dig them, because I know when I'm doing my exercises and my stretches, like, I got over that hump. I think the hardest part was the beginning, because I was just so weak, like, just physically weak, that doing the exercises was really hard. And now that, like, I've gotten stronger, the exercises aren't as hard. And, well, what do you think the way we care for dead people in the West is wrong? Yeah, we totally blow our end-of-life experience here in this. You know, it's funny you bring that up, because the minigram is working with this gal who's got diagnosed with terminal cancer. She's been battling it, and I haven't gotten back on the horses lately. That's my next move. We drove by him today and looked at him for a moment. Yeah, I got to start riding. I was thinking about that today. Hate pills, man. That's good. I'm telling you, like, I'm a convert about these exercises. I should probably do a video about them, but they're so based upon your form. I'll get back to the dad thing in a second. They're so based upon your form, because if your form's not perfect, it causes different muscles to fire. So it's all mental. Like, I do these couple exercises where I think about which muscles are firing, and it makes the muscles on my legs relax while the other muscles are firing in my core. It's pretty trippy, dude. Dr. Kim's been gnarly, but it's been an adventure, because he's got to do these gnarly stretches, because my inside of my hips has solidified or atrophied from the last year and a half. So but I'm over the corner with that too. I'm making huge progress with my back. I'll make a full video about what's going on with my back, dude. But it's double thumbs up. Dr. Kim's the man, dude. How come I haven't interviewed any skaters lately? It's just random. You know, they show up in your life, you interview them when you can. Like, I'd love to be interviewing skaters I was trying to get a hold of the boss for a while. I got his number, he never would get back to me. You know, I went for a whole period there like 9 months ago where I was reaching out to these guys and they wouldn't get back to me, and then I randomly ran into Leo Romero via Joe Hemeke, and boom, he was stoked. It's like that. Like, if any of you can put me together with the skateboarder, I'd be stoked. I love interviewing the skaters, man. I love interviewing people in general. So, but I got bogged down with this back issue. I gotta really say, like, if you don't know, the back issue, it debilitated my whole reality for a long time. So to get on this other side of it, so I did go down and do the bowl jam last weekend. That was cool. I got to judge the bowl jam again. Like, I was hanging out there with Dave Duncan. I thought about asking him for an interview, but I don't know. I didn't feel it. He's a trippy dude, though. He's a legend for sure. Back to the Minigram and the dying chick. So one of her clients she works for is Flamin' Turtles. Hey, dude. So one of the gals she works, she does case management's, like, got terminal cancer, right? And so she decided she was gonna, like, help this chick get to the other side, man. And it's pretty admirable stuff, to help someone die with grace and dignity. It's a young gal too, man. You get in that thing where you're like, intravenous vitamin C that's been known to kill lots of cancer and stuff. So there's, I'm a firm believer that the Western medicine is killing people. So, how do we deal with the dead in our society? Not too well, but you could argue that our society is like killing people continually with bad food, bad health care, negative thinking, stress. Hello. I didn't catch it. Darn, dude. So, and the food, this lack of supplements, the lack of nutrition. I was listening to some weird little Joe Rogan thing the other day about, he was talking about, how just people get tricked into slavery, chasing possessions. I think the chasing of possessions will kill you too. So anyway, the Minigrams gonna help this gal get to the other side, man. It's kind of gnarly, but that's kind of what we do. Like, that's sort of what we do, is we help people. Some people need help with any type of meditation, man. You know what they say is praying is asking God for help, and meditation is listening to God give you help. I try to meditate as much as possible. I find that I meditate the most when I'm doing my art, right? Does that make sense? But to actually sit in a lotus position is pretty hard for me. I will find that I will go find quiet times, and I will meditate, so to speak, where I'll just shut off the noise inside my head and try to pick up the signal. I do that a lot. in different places, but the actual like practice of meditating and the whole breath thing and that, like, nah, I'm too spazzy for that. See that the photo, I don't know, someone just asked about videos of me like surfing. It's like, dude, you gotta have someone with the camera, man. Like, I don't really know any camera guys. No, I'm not a vegan, dude. Don't seem like, I don't support factory farming. I'm a big, you know, if you're gonna eat meat, you can definitely buy positive flesh. It's a gnarly thing. It's funny, I was talking to the Minigram about it this weekend, because I used to be in 4-H when I was a kid, you know, and I used to raise my own sheep and, you know, sell them at auction, and if they didn't, or put them in the freezer, dude. So I'm not like, and I definitely was talking to her about, you know, she was like, that's so crazy. Like, well, one, I go, it's crazier to go to the store and buy a piece of meat wrapped up in the plastic that you have no spiritual connection to. Like, when you have spiritual connection to the, if you're gonna eat the flesh, like, you know, we live in a crazy society. No, do I believe in vegan? No, but then you look at an entire subcontinent of India does. Chia seeds are rad, hemp seeds are rad. There's so much positive food out there. So do we have do we eat red meat in our diet? No. Do we eat pork? Absolutely not, man. Yeah, I should do some of that. So, you know, do chicken sketchy. We'll get, about all we'll do is get organic, you know, hippy dippy ground turkey, dude, is pretty much it. Antibiotic free, all that kind of stuff, dude. But generally we kind of steer clear of the dairy and all that stuff. Cheese will slip in there a little bit. But not big meat eaters, though. We do make the ground turkey spaghetti sauce. It's pretty good, and have turkey patties that, you know, make them. Dairy's not that easy to digest, dude. I don't even have any boggles left. Yogurt, positive antibiotics for sure, man. Protein and veggies, dude. There's all sorts of ways to get protein besides meat too, man. That's the thing. You know, I'm not a nutritionist. That's the holograms department. Dude, look, someone just asked me any advice about letting go of the past. It's hard. First, you got to come to terms with the past, right? You know, in the 12 steps of recovery, before you can get rid of the past, you have to know what the past is you want to get rid of. So maybe writing an inventory down is a good idea. You write an inventory about the past and your past deeds that you want to let go of, because until you know what you want to let go of, how can you let go of anything, man? You know, I remember when I got sober, like, the past was a burden, man. My mic isn't working? Are you sure? Game's on. All right, I get that. Mic's got to be working. Other people are hearing me. Indiana, okay. So my thing is like, yeah, when, like, there becomes a point in life when you have to come to terms with your past if you want to make the next jump on the spiritual evolution of exploring the self. Like, you collect a bunch of data, a bunch of experiences, you go about your life through youth, and at some point you go, wait a minute, I want to make a big change in my life, how I perceive the world, or maybe you begin to perceive different. So you want to make a big change, and you go, how do you let go of the past? And all you got to do is know what you need to let go of. You have to be able to look in the mirror and go, this is who I am. I did this. This is what I've done. And then you can figure out why you did that after you've come to terms with what you've done. And then you just give it back. You just give your story back to God and another human being. You got to confess to another human being, man. That's the key, dude. Because you can confess to God all day long, but until you have the courage to sit and look someone in the eyes and go, I did this and I did that, you aren't being honest with you, because we need other human beings to to interact. That's why God sent us all down here, is to interact amongst each others. And that's why we all need to help each other and be of but that's why it is hard to confess to yourself. That's why it's usually a fundamental breakdown of your life that makes you look at yourself. Most people aren't going about their life in a like la-di-da and then like, you know what, man, I'm going to take a full deep self-examination of myself and figure out why I'm screwed up. No, it's you get to a crossroads in your life where like you can go that way or you can go that way, and you just got to know where you came from before you can make the decision of where you want to go, man. And the truth hurts. You said it, dude. Sometimes finding out what kind of a donkey you've been, it hurts. Nobody wants to realize they suck, dude. But you know what? Everybody's got a little bit of suck in them, but everybody else has got a little bit of glory in them too. Just because you've done some bad things doesn't mean you haven't done some good things too. I mean, there's some people that are just straight evil, dude. That's what they do. But hey, that's their trip, man. It doesn't have to be yours. So someone put something in my head there that I wanted to trolling. I'm all for trolling. You know, it's part of if you look, it's the thing. Like I get trolled every now and then. Whatever, dude. I put myself out there. Like, do you troll people that want to be left alone, that are living like private lives? No, but can they be trolled? No. I don't believe in doxing, though, by the way. If that's a form of trolling, was doxing people, I think that's super not cool, man. You shouldn't dox people. I'm into the trolling of the news. That dude the other night behind Anderson Cooper going CNN is fake news. Thumbs up, man. I'm all for that. Anytime you can call these people out for the scumbags they are, I'm all for that. But I've seen some trolling on my channel that I would say is super inappropriate, especially to other people that are trying to be nice. You know, I think, look, you're right. Like, trolling's an asshole move, but yeah, Trump is the ultimate troll, dude. Yeah, he trolled the entire political system and New World Order. You know, so look, I think that sometimes like trolling's not free fire on people that don't deserve it. Like some people are being nice, they don't deserve to be trolled. So there's this gal on my channel who comments, the Pampered Hen. Dude, I saw someone write the most vicious like troll thing to her, dude. It sucked. She's a cool, I don't know who she is. She's a cool person who's a mom out there getting stoked. You know, maybe I'm getting catfished. I don't know. I've been catfished. That's the fun. That's the ultimate trolling, is catfishing someone. But like, look, it's one of those things. Some people deserve to be trolled, but other people don't. And that's what self-control is all about. Like me personally, I don't got time to troll anyone, man. I really don't. But you know, if Kevin Spacey was right here sitting outside my window, we all might troll him together, dude. I don't know. But then again, we're operating off for right, this is the thing with trolling too. Unless it's like you can troll me on what I'm saying out of the cat's mouth, but if you're trolling somebody on hearsay, that's not right. You know? I think that if you have direct evidence that someone's a kook and they're doing evil, troll them, man. I think Lindsey Graham should be trolled. John McCain should be trolled ruthlessly trolled. Hillary Clinton should be ruthlessly trolled. Do I think that Anthony Bourdain should be trolled? Not so much. You know? Do I think Colin Kaepernick should be trolled? Absolutely. But he puts himself out there, man. Trump's being ruthlessly trolled, dude. That's the thing. Like, everyone's gotten so like, ooh, one way or the other. Look, it's all a joke, dude. It's all going on. What are you doing at your dinner table? I'll tell you the truth. Sometimes, man, I get into it with my family about whatever hair gets misplaced on my head. I don't operate as a saint, you know. Someone said turd. So you guys can't read other people's comments, can you? That sucks. That's not the way Periscope works, dude. But so, you know, like, I think that people in glass houses shouldn't throw stones. And that's the one thing that I tried to stay true with on this YouTube channel is if I'm going to throw stones, man, I got to admit I live in a glass house. That's why I ran for city council, right? I can't sit here and talk shit about the political system, excuse the profanity, unless I get involved in the political system. I can't do a lot of things. Like, I can't give parenting advice till I had a kid. You know, I can't tell you what the experience is to have cancer because I haven't had cancer. I can talk to you all day long about drug addiction and alcoholism. I can throw those stones. But I think that's important, is like, most people are trolling just to get a reaction, and I don't think that's cool. But then again, look, I think Joe Rogan should be trolled about the chemtrail thing. Absolutely. I don't know about Joe Rogan. Like, I'm a big Joe Rogan. Not good advice. What's not good advice? Not trolling? Trolling? It all depends. Do I love surfing or skating more? It all depends, man. I don't know. I got on my skateboard the other day, man. That feeling was insane. Love the skateboard. Love rolling around on my skateboard. That was bad advice on the trolling thing. Oh, well, you know. Oh, we can't. Okay. Yeah, okay. I don't know. Trolling's a tricky thing, dude. But, you know, isn't that protesting on the Crail Couch, dude? That was a long time ago, man. I had that crazy mustache, dude. That's one of my great honors. I got to be on the Crail Couch, man. Like, this YouTube thing's been cool. And I kind of had a revive on it. Like, I'm kind of excited to see where this YouTube thing's going. You said it. People don't know how much you know till you can prove how much you care. I think this goes so quick. That's true, man. Like, look, if you truly care about something and you're willing to go to bat for it, is that trolling? I don't know, man. Sitting in the basement hassling people is trolling to me. Like, sometimes you have a legitimate grievance, and how do you, like, I don't know. I'm a firm believer that, man, sometimes you need to spray paint some stuff on the side of a building. Look, back when I was young, they had the first Gulf War, right? And I think I was like 19, so you had to register for the draft and all that kind of stuff. And I used to go spray paint. My big thing was fuck war, right? Like, we were original. But I used to go spray paint that on all sorts of stuff. I used to troll my city I was living in, man. Like, I don't know. I'm not into graffiti either. The FBI's watching. I hope the FBI's watching. I hope the CIA and Mark Zuckerberg's watching so they can realize, dude, we don't care. Us of the high frequency tribe, we don't care about your dirty, dirty, dirty low frequency hate machine, man. You just keep doing it, man. Whatever you got to do, dude, because those of us, I don't know. The trolling thing is weird. I think it's trolling. I think is just this weird thing that's a product of this multimedia society we live in, dude. Like, you couldn't. Everybody puts their world out on Facebook and Instagram and makes themselves like able to be trolled. I don't know, dude. If you need to talk to me offline, I usually have my email down below. You just email me, and then we set up a time, we talk, dude. I'm super easy to get a hold of, dude. There's just like 2 layers to get through. You got to email me, I email you back. We set up a time, we talk, dude. The minigram and the cell phone. That comes through her dad, dude. I'm not a big fan, but we live where, like, do you know it's weird? Up on Rainbow Mountain, like, they must have adjusted the towers or something, because we get way more cell phone than we used to. I've never talked down to anyone about weed on this channel, man. I'm a full pro weed guy. I just personally think that the weed, now we want to get somewhere real quick here because I got to go in a minute. The new weed, you guys, that's being smoked out there is coming from the man, dude. Is it the... if you need to smoke weed to get by in your life, like good for you, dude. I smoked so much weed in my life, dude. I just personally believe that the legalization of weed is a conspiracy, man. Grow your own organic weed, good for you. Ah. Anyway, I guess that's the universe saying it's time to go, would be my guess. Where's the keys, bird? Is it getting all weird for you like it is for me? Darn.